There's a reason I don't really keep up with event hubs anymore nowadays, and it's because of articles like this. Are we really gonna have to dust off the likes of Blanca and E Honda? Despite when Street Fighter 6 was initially revealed that everyone was creaming themselves because they brought back the original 8 warriors and laid them out in the same way as back when Street Fighter 2 was a thing. Event Hub Street Fighter warriors are kind of bipolar, methinks. EVO 2024 has come and gone, and there have been announcements from it that I'd like to talk about, some of which I have a lot to say, others which I don't have a lot to say because either I don't really play the games that much or I just have no interest. So you can consider this an article response. Okay, no, it's not going to be a full article response, it's just going to be a segmented response because, I'm not one of those people. Anyway. Insert the I haven't done this in a while meme that I've been digging and cue the music.
You cannot escape from death.
You are being taken under our power to your destination.
Come on.
This first one about the Hunter X Hunter. Someone's gonna say, no, it's Hunter Cross Hunter. Okay. I have not watched the anime. I have no interest in it. I know that the characters in there are something and are pleasing to a certain demographic, but that's about it. This game is apparently going to be something along the lines of Dragon Ball FighterZ, in that it seems to be one of those 3-on-3 fighting games, except the roster count is ridiculously small. I'm not really familiar with the anime for varying reasons, and not just because it's an anime, but only 16 characters, and there's not even a release date yet. And you're gonna make the game a 3v3 fighter. Is this even worse than when Skullgirls launched, with only having 8 characters? And yeah, I know someone's gonna say that, oh, Skullgirls is perfectly fine now, except even with Skullgirls only having 8 characters? But this is supposed to be a AAA fighting game, and yet I don't think this game is gonna be in the same league as Skullgirls. Even before and after Skullgirls went to shit. I really liked the original Granblue Fantasy Versus. I thought it was a pretty interesting fighting game. The story mode was unique. And unfortunately they shipped all of the fun part about the story mode in this, and they also really fucked up the game's shop system by having you be online to acquire premium currency just to unlock things like character colors and stages. Side games really fucked up this game. And the fact that people got on accounts going off about Lily and shit, and even with 2B, kind of goes to show how fighting game people are as a society. It's ludicrous. I don't really have much to say besides the other videos where I talked about this game. I like Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising is shit. This is supposed to be a sequel to one SNK fighting game that I guess people really like, and people kind of value it as SNK's version of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, except almost every version of this game is pretty much the same, which is good, I guess, unless it's not arcade perfect somehow. But I don't really have much nostalgia for Garou, Mark of the Wolves per se. I guess it's an okay fighting game, but most of the consumer ports are kind of more or less the same, which I guess is good if you really want to play it in the go. But I don't know. It's not my favorite SNK fighting game, so I don't really have any excitement or interest in City of the Wolves. And I know that SNK is going to fuck it up somehow. You can mark my words on it, and if not, I'll eat my words in a future video or something. But I still don't really care about this one. The King of Fighters 15 getting DLC, which are Vice and Mature. I already did a whole ass video talking about them doing the same bullshit with bringing back legacy characters and all that shit, so just put that video here and we'll be good to go. To think that SNK used to approve of shit like those Game Boy Advance King of Fighters games. Particularly the sequel where they make you go for the game's arcade mode over and over again, which was actually shit. I'll digress. I'm pretty sure this one wasn't on people's bingo cards, but Code Mystics has released a modern version of SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos to modern systems. And by modern systems, I mean PC via Steam, and then PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. insert rant about me being pissed off about Xbox releases. Unfortunately, it's not based on the home ports, that is the PlayStation 2 and Xbox ports, so that means there's no survival mode, but it is more or less the same as the arcade version, and you can actually access all the hidden characters with one convenient button, so it's almost the same. The only difference is that there's no save select, and you can't even do a versus CPU mode or damn spectator mode. I'm really sick and tired of these damn re-releases of old-ass arcade games not having something as simple as a versus CPU mode. It really fucking annoys me. Even the instanced gameplay of training mode is there, but yet we can't just have something as simple as letting us control the damn characters in a leisure like going through dumbass arcade mode. Especially when even Capcom themselves had digital clips allowing you to pick a stage and being able to control the character you want to pick in training mode, except just have it work in the same way as a versus CPU mode. But I'm gonna fucking digress before I get some ninny-winnies on my shit, because I could go on forever about it. I so do not care about this game. I kinda did, but then it's just basically Warner Brothers versions of Smash Brothers if it was monopolized by modern gaming trends, and I don't really care. It honestly does suck that Batman is in the game, because it makes me think of good old Kevin Conroy, the man who is Batman and didn't have his personal life be the star of the show, unlike a lot of people. And I also found on XCOM that there was an isolated voice of his line in Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 3. I hear the film itself is not very good, but if it's anything to go by, it's a great send-off compared to what even Rocksteady tried to do with Kill the Suicide Squad, and of course it being based on the good Batman from back in the day. It probably made people break down even more, but the fact that some people legitimately think his AI is kind of insane. Not gonna get into that, but every time I see multiverses, I can't help but think, I can't believe he used to be interested in this shit. Just like with Marvel's Avengers. Damn it, Square. You are a Square. I honestly do not give a singular fuck about Guilty Gear anymore. Especially since when Bridget came into the picture, all Arc System Works has been pushing is this damn character and his... Yeah, I'm going with that route. Fuck you. Retcon, which is some of the most absurd shit ever in a video game. Even more absurd than NetherRealm, and they're known to have some of the most notorious retcons of all time. But the main reason I stopped caring is because of their DLC route, and they're even including characters that were from prior games, you know, Dizzy and Venom, which I'm not going to go into the fact that Arc System Works is basically whitewashing Venom, but we're going to probably get some elaborate explanation from, I really hate to use the modern slang, but tourists, as to how the character looks now. Just the thumbnail alone makes me think that Arc System Works is on something, and not in the good way. Also, how the fuck is this Team of 3 mode going to work? Is this supposed to be that mode that was going to be shown off when the game was originally released, but they completely scrapped it? Or is it just going to be something like what Accent Core plus R did, where it's just basically King of Fighters? I have no damn idea. And assuming that it is going to be a team mode, if it's not going to be introducing pair play, it's going to be a fucking waste of time. They're also introducing two other characters, Unica, which is apparently from a Guilty Gear anime, which honestly I haven't heard of because I haven't kept up with Guilty Gear in a while. If it's a newer product, I really don't care. And Lucy, of all people, from that fucking Cyberpunk anime series, which I guess fucking even Arc System Works wants to go not only the degenerate route of having guest characters in fighting games that don't even fucking need it. I don't even want to fucking get into that shit. At least it ain't Rebecca, that's all I gotta say. And the fact that it's Cyberpunk should definitely say something. Before we get into the main event, let's go ahead and talk about the other shit. Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6. Now, I am not really a big fan of this idea, as Capcom is basically being lazy, just like with Arc System Works, in having guest characters in their fucking fighting games. And it's of course gonna have Terry Bogard and Mai from the Fatal Fury games. Yes, you have to say that's Fatal Fury because that's technically where they are from, is Fatal Fury, which I know that people really want to have their own Capcom vs. SNK 3 game, but I don't think putting characters that isn't part of, say, a crossover game necessarily makes it work. People got pissed off when Injustice 2 had two Mortal Kombat characters And even Mortal Kombat X having Alien vs. Predator matches because all those fucking autistic people just want to have the Alien vs. Predator matchup as if there's like, what, one good source of that shit? One good source of that shit, mind you? And the fact that with how even people somehow agree with Mrs. Sparrow going on about how Capcom released their characters way too damn slowly, having 2 waves of SNK characters is just fucking absurd. And I don't even really like the lineup of the Street Fighter 6 DLC Wave 2 roster. You got M. Bison, big fucking deal. You have Elena. Didn't people get pissed off at her in Ultra Street Fighter 4? And of course the 2 guest characters, because, you know, fighting games always get itself like fucking guest characters. But whatever, people are gonna fucking eat it up because, oh my god guys, we're so back with Capcom having Fatal Fury characters, because, you know, the dude who made Street Fighter 2 went on to make Fatal Fury to come full circle again, even though people already come full circle with fucking Street Fighter 5. You fucking people make me sick. Whatever. There's also some other bonuses which I forgot to mention. I also want to talk about Mortal Kombat 1 real quick, and then the big one, so prepare yourselves. Prepare your anus, as a reviewer tech from the USA once said. Okay, I don't know about some people. I honestly feel that French Bread is basically doing people hate with Street Fighter 2, and that Under Night in Birth is basically the equivalent of that of Guilty Gear X and Street Fighter 2. Because, my god, this looks almost exactly like the very first Under Night in Birth that I got way back in the day on the PlayStation 3. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's the same fucking game. Like, almost every version of this game I got, it's the same fucking game. Like, Jesus fucking titty fucking Christ. These are Legacy, the Brazen Age. I don't know what this game is, actually. Let me see if I can get a quick Google search. Yeah, I can't say I've heard of this game, but maybe I'll keep tabs on it for now. There's going to be Rivals of Aether 2, which should be interesting. And they're apparently going to have all future characters of the game will be free. Yeah, let's see how long they actually keep their word now, unlike a certain fighting game developer. And also, Mortal Kombat 1 is going to have characters like Takeda being part of the roster, even though he was a Combat Kid, and NetherRealm is basically releasing characters that were Combat Kids as DLC. Thanks, NetherRealm, you fucking pieces of shit. But let's get into the main event, which is, of course, Heihachi Mishima being part of the Tekken 8 DLC lineup. Jesus fucking Christ. Now, I kind of went on a little bit of a rant on the cord, as a certain Sparrow would say, but my god. Namco bringing back Heihachi again? Okay. Now, before anyone says anything, I noticed some people say that they saw this coming from miles away. I kinda don't give a shit. And there are plenty of other reasons to be pissed off about this besides the fact that Harada lied. Which, to be fair, he lies about anything now. Whether it be legacy characters being free, or the Roger incident. Which he's still a fucking idiot for that. But, here's what I think about the situation. Given that Capcom brought back Bison from the grave despite him being killed off in Street Fighter 5, the main face of Tekken being revived, albeit for DLC implementation and easy money. And the fact that this shit's gonna be fucking canon is the disgusting part, honestly. The whole point of Tekken 7 is to basically kill off Heihachi, when it takes Akuma from the Street Fighter games to do it, assisted by Heihachi's wife, of all people. The most important character in Tekken lore and history and story, or whatever the fuck the Dark Souls purists want to go on about. She's not even in this fucking game. If this was supposed to be like a non-canon entity or something, it could probably work, but considering the fact that Tekken has the longest story in a fighting game, to my knowledge, the General Hospital version of fighting games, I guess, if that makes any sense, and the fact that the game thinks it's cute and funny to reference the fact that Raven got that shit wrong, which I think is just disgusting personally, when even Tekken 5 has a lot more going for it besides that. And even with the consumer version, he wasn't available from the get-go, kind of shows that. And even when you unlock him, it shows his face on there. It's not exactly Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance levels of balls taken, actually sticking with it, but it was still quite the big revelation at the time, or even with Tekken 2, when that was new. Shocking. But still, But there's a reason why people get annoyed at games like Mega Man and Mega Man X, or whatever game that keeps bringing up the main villain for no fucking reason. In case you don't get it, Wily and Sigma. This shit is played out, and the fact that Tekken 7, the whole point of that shitty story mode, is that it was supposed to be Kazuya finally killing off Heihachi, and it just turns out to be a fucking marketing ploy like the giant chicken man from Family Guy. That gag itself got really old really fucking quick, honestly. Even that shit has run its fucking course, and that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Harada pulled the giant chicken man from Family Guy. But at the end of the day, he's gonna be canon, which, if his appearance wasn't canon, I could maybe not be as pissed off. But considering how impactful the DLC characters in Tekken 7 are, as far as DLC stories go, we're probably next to nothing. But I'm pretty sure Tekken 8's DLC characters actually have some meaning to the story. And the fact that they're bringing back Heihachi of all people, it should be met with like how Byleth was introduced in Smash Ultimate, but instead is met with overwhelming praise because it's Namco, Harada can never do no wrong, and we're so fucking back, and all this fucking other shit. It's just for money at the end of the day, because Namco has to feed their starving kids in Africa, don't you know? It's fucking disgusting. I am now going to close this rant with a statement. I'm gay. No, I'm fucking kidding. What, are you retarded? No, I'm not doing that fucking gay op shit. Anyway, no. I have an actual more important announcement to make. I have actually bought the 3 major fighting games, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, and Tekken 8, secondhand, on the Xbox, because I know people who play these games on Xbox at the expense of absurd storage space and, well, my dignity, despite saying that I am not touching Street Fighter 6 and here's why, or that the cameo system is more than enough to not be interested in Mortal Kombat 1, including the other problems that the game has, and of course Tekken 8's really shitty roster and the really, quite frankly, lackluster story mode would be more than enough for me to skip it. I have unfortunately succumbed to such bullshit, but if it means anything, I bought it secondhand. Though I'm going to have to put a burning asterisk because I did technically buy the DLC characters, i.e. Havoc and the cameo unlock pack, because I quite frankly do not want to go through the story mode more than once, and considering the grind that is the side mode of Mortal Kombat, I'd really rather just get the intended unlocks and be done with it. The DLC characters in Mortal Kombat 1 are all shit. The DLC cameos are all shit. I still hate the cameo system. It's shit. Although after playing the story mode for myself, how the fuck did Ed Boon fuck up the cameo system this hard? As for Tekken 8, yes, it does have the jukebox mode on the Xbox version, unlike the Xbox One version of Tekken 7, but guess what? The game is still shit. Tekken 8's roster is fucking dog shit. There is not one character I'm legitimately interested in, and the fact that they brought back Jun, only for it to be a fucking wasted opportunity, is just kind of sad. No Gigas, no Katarina, no Josie. Okay, they bring back Leroy as the base roster, but they make Lydia DLC. How the fuck does that work? Making Eddie DLC, you know, because legacy characters are free, you guys. You're fucking idiot, Harada. Jesus fuck. Anyway, before I get all pissy like I did in that retrospective, the really shitty one, by the way, and as for Street Fighter 6, the music gives me the same vibes as listening to Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. And no, I'm not fucking kidding. I hate that goddamn song so fucking much, I want to fucking induce vomiting if I so much as hear that shit. That song sucks, and the rap direction that Street Fighter 6 has gone to fucking sucks. Now, with that announcement out of the way, I shall now line up for my inevitable cancellation execution because I went against my own words. If there are any other last words I would have to say, yes, I do actually.
For me, it was a Tuesday.
Harada, You are a fucking idiot. See you in hell, motherfucker.